The views and opinions expressed on this program is just that. Views and opinions. Don't take any of it serious. But I will warn you, viewer discretion is advised.
You met me as me. Yes. Bro, this hair looks delicious on you. Yes! It's 99J.
So I had a barbecue yesterday, and so the conversation that we had was quite germane to our first story. We're talking about Jerrod Carmichael. Y'all know his reality show aired on Friday on Max.
You are really invested into this man's life. Do you have a crush on him, Craig?
I don't.
Is he not an attractive black
He's
man?
not my cup of tea.
Is it because he's not? Is he an attractive black man?
No, I think he's a nice looking guy. He's just not my cup of tea.
Well, the reason why I asked you that because I know you're about to delve into this.
I am.
Deeply delve.
I have my notes
And
here,
so
too.
I had to start at the top because I know you've shared some of your notes with me.
Uh-huh.
I had to start with the top. That's what because I wanted to point out some things at the top so that we'll be. So he is an attractive black man.
I think he's an attractive guy, yeah.
All right, so go ahead. Go ahead.
So I will say it was a really great. So they call it a reality show. So like you see the camera set up, you see the lighting and all that kind of stuff.
Have they broken the fourth wall though? Does he talk to the audience?
He has.
So it's like a docuseries.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when it opens up, you see clips of his. Remember his special where he came out that wrote what was it? Wrote Nathan or something? It was called. Anyway, you didn't see it. No. you didn't see it. No. I thought you saw it.
What is it?
Wrote Nathan.
Is it his show?
Yeah, it was like when he came out. It was like
no, I only saw snippets of it on Gay Magazine.
Oh.
But I didn't watch it.
So when it opens up, it shows you clips from that. And the particular clip that they show is when he's saying that he had a crush on his best friend. Then they cut to this current reality show where he tells us who that crush is. And it's Tyler.
The creator.
Not Perry, the creator. Right. Communication is our partner. Clarity is our friend. This time we're talking about the creator.
Tyler's a creator too.
Well, I meant the one whose stage name.
Oh, it's Tyler the creator.
You don't make me tip through them tulips now.
I'm tapping you on your shoulder now, girl.
Girl, listen. There's an electrical fence there. I'm trying not to go over that fence, girl.
I'm keeping you away.
Okay. let me move on past it now.
I'm keeping you away.
Okay.
Let me guide you.
Right. Thank you. So he talks about how he has this crush on Tyler, the creator. They were like really close friends, this, that, and the third. Well, he sends him a text message. Jerrod sends Tyler a text message and says, I have this crush on you, da-da-da-da. Tyler never responds. Fast forward a year later, this man still ain't responded. Oh, damn. So they finally have a sit-down conversation where Jerrod is basically telling him, listen, you didn't even respond. Like what happened, you kind of pulled back. Even in the friendship, like you weren't really responsive in our text messages, da-da-da-da. So Jerrod sends him a text. This is before they sit down. Because this first episode is called Emmys. Because he's going to the Emmys.
This one that I was at?
Yeah. And so, wait.
Or was it before?
It may have been before. I don't know.
Because I didn't see him.
Yeah, this may have been before. So, long story short, he sent Tyler a text asking if he would join him for the Emmys. Well, Tyler took days, maybe even a week or so, to even respond and say, oh man, I'm busy, I can't make it. That's lit though. So then you see the scene where they're sitting down in his hotel room, in Jerrod's hotel room, or apartment, or whatever this is, and they're talking, and he basically says to him, you just kind of left me there, you didn't say anything. And he said, well, I didn't really know what to say to that. So they have this whole conversation, and that piece really reminded me of what really does kind of happen out here in the dating world, where men are sometimes very unresponsive, don't really know what to do with emotion because they don't have that EQ, that emotional quotient. You know how there's IQ, but there's also EQ, intelligent, emotional quotient. Mm-hmm. And they don't always have the words. And so he said, I didn't really know what to say, but he just kind of left him there and he just kind of made jokes about it. He talked about how he needed to fart. So he steps out and goes and farts.
Who did this?
Tyler.
See, now you're gonna make me watch it.
I really wanted to get you to watch it, but I didn't watch it till this morning before I came here. So it caught him off guard, but he was just really off-putting. Tyler was very off-putting. And so what I'm saying is, it really made me think about just kind of how we move. And what's really interesting is, here you have these two black gay guys who were uber successful, and neither one of them typically date black men.
There are so many questions in the comment section trying to clarify Tyler, the Creator's sexual orientation.
Well, he said he was gay, right?
I don't know.
Well,
I thought he dated this guy's son, Diddy. Is it
Diddy's son.
Sorry,
Diddy's son.
Sorry, not Diddy's son. I'm sorry. Will Smith.
Oh, right.
well, he white adjacent.
White neighbor. Excuse me, Mo. White neighborhood, wrong person.
Right.
I meant right neighborhood, wrong person.
Correct. Okay, they're saying Tyler is bisexual. But yeah, Tyler looks like he might be on the spectrum. I'm with you.
But Jaden is
Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith, yeah.
Does he say that he's bisexual too?
I think he's gay, isn't he?
What?
I mean, I heard that they were dating.
No, I need to put something here
I heard
because I don't know what's
allegedly.
going on.
Allegedly, they dated.
They were doing something. But what I will say about this whole reality show, it is a real-time, open account of what kind of happens with gay men in terms of, like, he was on Grindr. Like, you saw his Grindr profile, talking about Jerrod.
Oh, not Tyler's Grindr.
Jerrod. Tyler talked about a sex party that he hosted. Like, they're talking about the thing.
Okay, I have to watch this now.
Because Tyler didn't know that Jerrod was filming this stuff. When he came to talk to him about how Jerrod sent him a text the year before saying he was interested and da-da-da, he didn't know that it was a whole production when he got to the place. He said, oh, there's more people in here than the sex party that I hosted.
But Tyler is kind of weird and funny.
I think he's on the spectrum.
But do we know this for a fact?
No, I just said I think.
But thinking and knowing is
I'm looking at his eyes and his mouth and the way he holds his mouth.
Even if thinking and knowing, even sucking dick, do we know it is a fact? Because you can suck dick and not be on the spectrum, right?
What spectrum are you talking about?
The sexual. No,
I'm talking about this spectrum.
Oh,
Up here.
so but can you have an experience, Craig, and still not be up there?
I think you can have an experience and not.
Can you have several experiences and not?
Now, wait a minute now. You're getting into several. I don't know about that. When I was talking about spectrum, I'm saying he's kind of like autistic or.
Oh, you mean 90-40?
Correct.
Oh.
He's giving that.
Oh, you mean the 90-40?
Yeah, like he ain't.
She can't.
Not mac and cheese. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, he on the spectrum. And so something's going on with him.
See, you gotta. Okay, I was so confused.
Yeah.
So you mean spectrum as far as?
You a dummy, bitch.
Yeah! No, Craig.
No, I'm just.
Don't do that. Oh my God. But you are. But don't do that.
What'd you say?
I didn't. This is what I said.
I thought you said.
This is what I said.
Oh.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So here's where I get really analytical about it. Jerrod was on Grindr and he's looking on there and he's talking. And he's like, here he is, this uber successful guy, and he's looking for hookups on a mobile app. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I just want us to kind of step back and look at that, like the grand scheme of that. And I think some of that is tied to his disconnection with his mother, because she's uber religious. One of the things that he talked about was how he wanted to invite his mother to go with him to the Emmys. And he said she would gladly come, put on a gown, put on makeup, this, that, and the third. But yet he was going to be honored for this gay work he had done, that comedy special. So how does she juxtapose that? How do you juxtapose that?
Greg, There are so many people in this comment section that are stating that the man is not homosexual.
Who is not?
There's only one homosexual we're talking about, and that's Jerrod.
Jerrod is homosexual, but Tyler is bi.
Okay, do we know this?
Yes, he came out years ago. Where y'all been? I didn't know if he was bi or gay, but I knew he was definitely.
There are people down there saying that Tyler is not bisexual.
They saying Tyler is bisexual. Tyler's been out. Yes. Yeah, Sean, yeah, Hatchet. Yes, he did. I don't know where you been. Thank you. Tyler came out years ago. And he was on, well, if he didn't, he came out on this special because he sure was talking about, listen, watch the special. Or not the special, it's a reality show. Yeah, he came out years ago. So I was thinking about that, like the juxtaposition of his mother trying to celebrate his success. I'm talking about Jerrod, but yet still feeling like, you know, he needs to be saved. And he said that she's always talking about Leviticus this and Leviticus that. And so here he is, this uber successful person, but even when he was sitting there talking to Tyler about his feelings and how Tyler ghosted him, basically, it's like he's searching for validation. Like he looked like a little boy trying to explain his feelings. And Tyler looked like someone who doesn't have the emotional intelligence to even have that kind of a conversation, right? And so Jerrod is bringing all of these strangers, none of them who were black. He's bringing these strangers that he's meeting on Grindr to his apartment or hotel, wherever this was. He's sucking on their toes. Can we get that screen grab?
Yeah, I have that.
Oh
right
my
here.
God.
He's sucking on toes.
Wait.
But these people are coming in and this whole camera crew is there. Okay. They're coming to his place for a hookup and the entire camera crew is there.
Wait. Okay, see, this is where I was blown away. This is where it's blowing me away. He was on Grindr, bitch. Fill me in, ho. In layman's terms, he was on Grindr having Grindr link ups while they were filming the show.
That's what I said. It was so real time. I've never seen anything like this. I mean,
so this was a real reality show then.
And I'm sure they still edit and cut things out. He on there taking mushrooms.
Well, it is HBO, so he could get it's not on national TV, so there's a lot of leeway you can have.
HBO bigger than national TV.
But it ain't, but that boy that's in that picture, that's not the only one. Then I send there's another screenshot of him and Tyler just talking. But there was another guy, like he had a couple guys. There was another guy that he fucked. He talked about there was some cream on his counter. He said, "Oh, that's the cream I use when I fuck the boys without a condom."
Whoa.
Wait, put the picture up there. Wait.
You want to see the picture again?
Was it another picture you had, Greg?
Oh, it's just
Right above that.
Which one? This?
The middle one.
This one? Mm-hmm. That's.
He leaned his head. He's talking to Tyler. This is when he's professing his feelings. And he leans his head on his shoulder. And look at Tyler all on his phone. Like he's just so detached.
Maybe because he's not gay. Could it be because he's not gay?
He's into white boys.
Oh, this is where you were going.
That's where I was going.
Okay, come on.
Tyler's into white boys. And so I was just like, oh my God. So like Jerrod is waking up the next morning with hookups and stuff. And like, who are these people that are coming to this hotel room or apartment, wherever they are? And you got a whole camera crew. And it's a hookup. But these people didn't even seem to know who Jerrod was. He telling them, "Oh, I'm going to the Emmys tomorrow." Like he looks so desperate for attention, to be liked and attention. But I think that's that longing that comes because he's so now detached from his family. And I think that that's what happens with a lot of queer people. They come into the community looking for acceptance and love when you come from a family that discards you. And I think what happens also, I don't know how Tyler was raised, but Jerrod is from South Carolina. It's very segregated in South Carolina.
Bible Belt.
So he's black, okay? He grew up black. But just based on what we know about him now, with his mom talking to him about the Bible and this, that, and the third, he doesn't really talk to his mom very much now because he's gay. what I have learned, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, a few shows ago, when we talked about how some black queer people date exclusively outside of the black community because the black community hurt them. I'm the first to tell you that I learned and came to the realization, not from watching this, but from the episode of Don Lemon on Red Table Talk, that sometimes...
Send me that clip so I can play it.
Oh, okay. Sometimes... Oh, it's in the one with me, you, and Mo. It's in this one.
Oh shit.
You deleted it.
No, this, it's on this phone.
Oh.
And this phone is hooked up to this.
And so,
text
it's
it
this
to you?
one.
Airdrop it to me. Because we about to let y'all hear
Uh-huh. And so, let me just color the picture for you.
before it plays.
Before it plays. And so, what I've learned is, it's not always about...
Sorry, that was.
It's not always about having internal issues with your own culture. Sometimes, but I also think that there is also a crop of black queer people who date outside of their race because they were called sissy, fag, and punk or whatever by black people. They were hurt by the black church, the black family, the black community. And so they take flight. They leave the black community because it was too painful to stay. And so they look for solace, love, relationships with other people.
Would you like for me to play it now?
Play it. Now hold on. Now this piece that we're playing now is a podcast that I came across. It's a guy named Justin Sylvester. He says he's an actor. I don't know if he's an actor or not. I've never seen him in anything. But he is a host, a commentator on E! So we're going to play the audio for you, and then I want us to break it down. Go ahead. He talks about black women, too, so listen up.
And a lot of times people don't even realize that they are only clocking you when you're dating a white guy. Because nobody would be like, oh, he's dating a Brazilian guy. You know what I mean? Right. Or nobody, Don Lemon's with an Asian guy. Like, nobody would really clock that. I think you only are clocking the black man, white man thing. You know, we were just conditioned growing up that interracial relationships weren't worthy and weren't seen as okay. Like, I mean, I can remember being a kid and, my older sister having a guy friend who was white, and the kind of, the ragging that she got for having a white guy friend that wasn't even her boyfriend at the time scarred me for life. Like, I was like, oh, I can never date outside my race in my town because this is what my sister got. And it happens a lot, and we don't even realize how much pressure it adds to kids. But that's a you thing. That's a problem that you have. I don't have that problem. I can date outside my race. I can appreciate people who date outside their race. I don't have that issue. That just might be a you thing.
When you look at black straight men who date outside of their race, a lot of times black women who have an issue with it is because you have these black men who are like, I'm never dating a black woman. Like, this is all that I want. And they feel like that's something that they deserve, or they feel it's a prize. Or maybe, we touched about this on the podcast, they feel like they've gone through trauma with black women. And so, which I don't believe that part, but
I mean, that's what they say.
That's what they say. But I am wondering, is there any correlation with that when it comes to black gay men dating white men? Because that's, do you get, go ahead.
No, I think there's definitely a correlation. A lot of my experiences with black men, the reason is because, for instance, I have an ex who's 53 years old. On paper, bomb. Successful, makes a killing, has homes in multiple places, is super smart, went to Harvard. We have a great connection. But he's waiting until his mother passes until he can live his life fully. So you have a lot of gay men black gay men who are still kind of sort of in the closet, are not fully out. And a lot of times as an out gay man, as myself, as, Jerrod Carmichael, or as someone who is on TV who represents and says, I am a gay black man, sometimes other black men don't really want to end up on that Insta. They don't really want to end up in the public eye because they're still, kind of sort of in that closet. A lot of gay black men are in the closet. Still. And not like fully in the closet. Like you'll meet a black gay man who's, about it, and then you get to know him a little bit better, and I can't really put you on this because, or I can't really bring you to this because I'm not that out at work, or I'm not. Everyone has that degree of something. So I think for, people who are out in public, like that's something that you have to keep in mind. I also, for myself, I like to date guys because everybody has baggage. I personally can't date someone with the same baggage as me, especially somebody who's not on the same level of collecting their baggage. Because a lot of times you do all this work on yourself, and growing up in the South as a black gay man, first of all, you have to deal with the black thing, then you have to deal with the gay thing. Meeting someone who has the same baggage and they're not on the same level of getting to accepting themselves, they can drag you back to step 3 when you're on step 7.
Now, see, a few weeks ago, I had said, sitting right here, I, Craig, want partnership with a black gay man. But sometimes when you've done your work, it feels like there are too few of us who have also done their work. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have more work to do, because I believe that every day that you're alive, there's work to do. There's new work to do. But to pick up on what he said, I've said this so many times. I see black gay men who, and we're just talking about black gay men because that's what we're talking about. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen in other communities.
Because I'm going to slide in here.
I know you are. And we're going to talk about what we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. There are black gay men who attend gay pride events. They flying down to Brazil, Puerto Rico for the white party, the black party, the sex parties. They doing all of the things. They got gay friends. They move in gay circles, but they haven't given themselves permission to be who they are. And what I realized at some point, that part of the reason that I'm single and so many other black gay men who really do want partnership, quality relationships are single, is because once you start to climb to a certain level of success, there are very few black gay men who are there and out.
Correct. And so here's in my space, because I'm not a black gay man. I'm a black trans woman.
Correct.
Who is success? I'm rich.
What are you, girl?
I'm rich.
What is it, girl?
I'm rich. So I sustain myself. I take care of myself. I take care of my being. Like, and if any man that walks in here, they would have to be equally as successful as me financially or above. And those men who are above financially than me are not ready.
Correct.
They're not.
They're not the responsibility.
Correct. They're not ready to do that. And here's where I'm at with it. Lots of people take jabs at me and say, "Well, you ain't got no man to be out with you in public." That's not a problem. It's who I choose to fuck if I decide that I want to be in an open something with a gentleman. And my thing goes like this: I'm not finna be dealing with no man that's getting in my fucking car in my $200,000 and laying his seat back as if I'm not the prize. I said this back when I was driving a motherfucking $25,000 car, bitch. I'm not doing it. I'm 46 years old. I'm not ever going to be in a space ever again where I'm in the car or in some place with some man and he's walking 5 steps behind me or the seat is back, bitch. Like, I'm not the girl. Bitch, you're crazy. Because, and it's not the fact that you're not the girl. It's the fact that they haven't gotten to a space. And the last statement that man said was some true shit.
You've done your work and you're out of, they want to bring you back to 3. And I've said so many times, you're not going to drag me back in the closet. But here's what I'm clear about. First and foremost, my work puts me out. I've written 2 books about my whole journey coming out. I've written about all of that.
2 best-selling books.
Correct.
That are on Audible right now.
Words Never Spoken and One Thing for Certain, 2 Things for Sure.
What's the third one then?
So Much to Say.
Right.
A Book of Quotes. And Book of Jewels is number 4. Now, that's my best work. Now, if you want to know my business, you want to get them first 2 books. But my best shit is Book of Jewels. But here's the thing. I knew once I put those books out, once I released those first 2 books, I said, this is it. You're going to cut off a certain segment of black gay men who are never going to be interested in you because you're too out for them. I knew when I linked up with you.
Come on.
This is what we about to shake this motherfucking table.
Tell your story, Craig.
When I linked up with her, I knew I had to be very clear about who I was.
Because he was a transphobe at first.
I wouldn't go that far.
You were in the area.
No, I was nervous around
Just
trans
because you knew Jasmine Bonet did not mean that you was not a transphobe.
Jasmine Bonet was in my stage play. We mentioned that one day on here. I don't think I was a transphobe. I think it was a level of
that level of gay was too much for you.
It was too much for me. That's it. That's it. It was too much for me. I didn't understand it. I wasn't trying to understand it.
It puts you in an area of phobia. You had a fear of it.
It put me in. Yes, it did.
So you were a transphobe.
I didn't understand it. And I wasn't trying to understand it.
Right.
And so I knew that had more to do with me. And there's a crop of black gay men, because we're only talking about black gay men right now.
Right now. So
right
listen,
now.
Don't feel excluded, because we're going to get around to you. We're going to get around to the straight ones too.
Are we coming?
Believe it.
It has nothing to do with her or some gay boy who was hyper feminine, because when I moved here, I was writing for a theater company. Mm-hmm. And when there's a theater company, you're going to have feminine gay men. I stayed away from them too, because I felt like any connection or association with her or them, it would out me. But see, the things that we think we're doing the things that we think we're doing a great job of hiding.
Like you're trying to hide whatever that is. What is that? Miss Mary keeps sitting down here for you specifically. We'll get it. Go ahead and finish your thought.
The things that you think you're doing a great job of hiding, the people who know you and love you are paying attention to your life. So there isn't anything that you think you're hiding that they don't already know. Those of you that are walking around talking about them and they, and I'm not talking about the pronoun thing. I'm talking about how you know how the gays are closeted, and they're like, oh, I went out with them, and then they called me, and because you're trying not to say he or him. That's such a dead giveaway. Everybody know you're a fag when you start saying that. But here's the thing. I dated a guy last summer, 50 years old. I did. Fine as wine.
He was 50?
50. So for all of the people who think I only date younger, that's not, they just gravitate to me. The young ones just gravitate to me. But here's the thing. This man was fine, accomplished, educated, a Kappa.
Oh, he was a what?
A Kappa.
You mean a Kappa as in the college?
Yeah. Fraternity.
Or a Kappa like he just full of cap.
The fraternity. The fraternity. Fine as wine. Do you hear me? The man had been married for 20 years. 20. They divorced. When I met him, they had been divorced for 2 years. He had 2 college-age kids, a boy and a girl. The girl was coming out of college. The boy was going into college. And we're hanging out. We met through a mutual friend. We're hanging out. We're, having a good time. This man knows how to partner. He felt different from any gay man that I had dated because this man had lived a straight identified life. Now, he was dipping and doing it while he had been married to that lady. But I've never told this story, not even on my Patreon. This man was married for 20 years, so he felt different to me. Because he didn't move in gay circles. He didn't go to gay parties. Like, he lived a straight identified life.
May I ask a question?
Please.
So you was dealing with, you thought you were finally in your gay life dealing with what we as the girls.
The who?
The girl.
Uh-huh.
The girl.
I'm listening.
Call a trade. A real trade.
Yeah.
Instead of a DL man.
Correct.
Because in the faggot community, DL.
In the what community?
In the faggot community. The FAGGIE community, DL is adjacent to the trade, but they're still faggies, but they act like this way. The trade is the man that's totally heterosexual.
So you in the room. You picking up what I'm putting down.
Correct.
Oh, you in the room.
So you were having a trade experience.
You're in the room.
You were having a trade experience.
You're in the room.
And so I'm going to ask you the question while it's there.
I'm listening.
Because you was doing the bending?
No, he was doing the bending.
Oh, shit. Holy shit.
I keep trying to tell you.
That sweet meat brings the heat.
Go ahead and clankle them bottles down there. Go ahead and clankle them bottles down there. I don't hear them. I don't hear you clankling. I need you to clankle them bottles. I need to hear a cacophony of noises. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Huh? Huh? G.E. Patterson, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Woo.
So back to my
So you
story.
were topping the top.
Oh, yeah. He may have birthed those children.
But your children was definitely
In him. But wait a minute. Wait. Get my children out of here. Get my children out of here. Get my children out of here. Oh my God. Oh God. Get them out of here.
Oh my good shit. Go ahead with the story, Chris.
Okay. So I want you to understand this man knew how to partner. He felt completely different from any other guy I had dated. This man had been in a marriage for 20 years. Every time this man came to my house, he came with something. Sea bass, lobster tail. Like he came over when my mom and my aunt Gloria were down, and he brought a dessert, a cake for them because he knew they were there. This motherfucker knew how to partner. Do you hear me?
I hear you, girl.
He made sure my Jeep and shit was. Listen, okay? But what happened was he hadn't given himself permission to really be free yet. Because, see, he was still worried about his ex-wife, his siblings, his adult children. And I remember he invited me to his house, and I was going over to his house. And he said, oh, well, can we meet out because the kids are kind of in and out of the house, because his kids had access to the house. They could come and go as they pleased. And I knew, like this guy said on this podcast, I wasn't going back in the closet.
Right.
I wasn't about to do all of that. I've been in enough relationships where I've done all of the heavy emotional lifting. I don't want to do that anymore. I think it's a joint effort. And I realized, and I'm being honest right now, I'm not saying this for no other reason. I'm not trying to pop my collar. I hadn't really told him fully what I did for a living. He knew I had written some books. He knew I had a greeting card business, but he didn't know about this stuff because he's not on social media. He's on TikTok now. Bitch, we everywhere on TikTok. That motherfucker messaged me last week and said, what is this? He sent me a clip of us on TikTok.
He's gonna send you this clip too on TikTok.
He might. He might.
Especially the part where you want to get your children out of him. He's probably gonna hit you and say, "Get my children out of me."
Bitch, if he say that,
You might well just put some more in there.
but he was clear. He was comfortable in his skin. Like we were comfortable in my skin.
Cozy.
Right.
Cozy.
We would go out and stuff. Like he wasn't trying to hide. It was just he was trying to keep me separate from his family, his ex-wife, his kids. I mean, not that you know what I mean. But what I didn't tell him was that I was doing this social media thing, and my fear was that we would be out and maybe run into one of his kids or his ex-wife, and they recognize me from social media.
Mm-hmm. And he hit you with one of those. You hit with what it is. Baby, not in here. Not in here. I'm a top. Not in here. Don't come in here with none of that.
Right.
I've already floored you girls last week talking about all that cum y'all was slipping in on the floor over there on P.H.A.G talk.
Right.
We're not having P.H.A.G talk here. Do you see me and my man? We're brothers together in here. And don't you fag out, don't you do this.
Fag out.
Trying to out me in front of my husband.
Correct. So, it was just things like that. I was just like, no. And like I said, he was divorced. They had been divorced for 2 years. But I just wasn't really ready to do that kind of work. Because some of that work that he still needs to do and every gay man needs to do, and he was very clear. He said, I'm never going to be with another woman. I'm clear about who I am.
Oh!
He was clear about that. But that journey to be able to move through the world as opposed to skulking through the world. Like I'm just not willing to do that.
But would you so you will date him if he just comes out to the world and be an open homosexual?
I would. And again, I would never push him to do that because that's a very personal thing. That's about your own timing. And my thing is, and again, like we talked about Billy Porter, we've talked about what's the child that makes the videos and Todrick. We've talked about Don Lemon and other black men who are in the public eye. But the truth is, sometimes you feel like you have to date outside of your community because if your work and your life is public, and aside from the public part of my life, I live a very big life.
You do.
I live a very big life. And I'm not trying to, because y'all know I don't talk about money and stuff like that, but I live a very big life.
What he's trying to let you know is he's rich too. I went in your house and saw those fixtures in your home, girl. That $15,000 projector. Girl, don't act don't you act like you don't want me to pour you be over here amping me up with that rich shit. Bitch, don't you let me pour your tea. You rich too, girl. I only hang around rich bitches. I'm never gonna have a poor mentality again.
But he's an amazing guy. Amazing guy. And these are the kind of conversations that I think we need to be able to have and really be able to flush out.
Do you have what it takes to be a fag?